Kenny Pickett has been the best rookie quarterback by a pretty comfortable margin, and I know that 6 touchdowns and 9 interceptions isn't that impressive, but when you watch his film, he's playing way better than the box score would indicate, and he's really improved his level of play over the second half of the season. Since week 10, according to PFF, he has 12 big-time throws and only 4 turnover-worthy plays, and he's PFF's 7th highest-graded quarterback over that time span with a grade of 78.9. One of my comparisons for Kenny Pickett coming out of the draft was Joe Burrow, and keep in mind with draft comparisons, it's not saying that one player is going to be as good as the other player. It's saying that they have similar strengths and weaknesses and play styles. And when you look at Kenny Pickett's skill set coming out of college and what he's shown at the NFL already, it's very similar to what you see when you watch Joe Burrow. He has great deep accuracy throwing down the sideline and then a natural sense for making plays outside of the pocket while he's under pressure. And his arm strength and athleticism are average, but he has other traits that override that and allow him to be successful. This first play we're going to look at, when I saw it live, I knew in the moment I was going to do a Kenny Pickett video this week. He evades the pressure from the left, avoids the sack, and then with a linebacker closing in on him, gets rid of the ball and drops it in a perfect location for Najee Harris. Kenny Pickett's the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to have a game-winning touchdown pass in the final minute of back-to-back games. This one against Vegas is a lot more just awful defense. It looks like they're playing some sort of cover 2 man, but Nate Hobbs is playing with heavy outside leverage, and this field side safety gets a ton of width. So the middle of the field is wide open for George Pickens to run this seam route, and the boundary safety can't get over in time to make a play. The amount of success Kenny Pickett's been able to have is even more impressive when you consider how poorly designed the Steelers' offense is. It's amazing the contrast you see watching Brock Purdy and Kenny Pickett back to back, because Brock Purdy is constantly throwing to wide open receivers. He has an innovative running game to help support the offense, and he deserves a lot of credit for how he's played, especially being Mr. Irrelevant. But to me, that's more of an example of Kyle Shanahan scheming things up. Matt Canada's offense is either the simplest, most predictable day one install passing concepts that you've ever seen, or isolation routes down the sideline. And Pittsburgh's been able to get away with that over the last few weeks on this winning streak because they have high-end receiver talent. Deontay Johnson's an elite separator, and George Pickens is developing into an elite contested catch threat, but it just makes it so much harder on a quarterback and on the offense when there's never any easy chunk plays. Kenny Pickett's done a great job of throwing with accuracy and touch down the sideline, but there's just hardly ever anything open over the middle of the field, and everything's a little more complicated than it needs to be. This play against the Colts is kind of a microcosm of Kenny Pickett's rookie season. There's nothing open on the initial play design, and he's getting pressured, so he escapes from the pocket and then throws a dime to George Pickens in the corner of the end zone. This is a similar throw to his game winner from week 17. They're in a 3-by-1 formation. All the major receiving threats are on the right side of the field, and then Najee Harris runs a wheel route out of the backfield. Great touch by Kenny Pickett to get it over the linebacker and out of reach of the safety, but Najee Harris isn't able to come down with a catch. And then another great throw from week 11. Really nice job stepping up into the pocket here, hitting George Pickens in stride. And again, going back to the stat line, you can see there's a lot of big throws Kenny Pickett's making that are showing up as incompletions in the box score. Another great play from the Ravens game that ended up as an incompletion. He evades the unblocked pressure from his right side, which is something I wasn't sure would translate to the NFL. He was doing a good job evading sacks in the ACC, but obviously the pass rushers are a lot more athletic in the NFL. But he gets that extra step to turn the corner. As always, when he's rolling outside of the pocket, his eyes are downfield, and he's able to hit George Pickens on this comeback route, but he steps out of bounds, and it ends up being a penalty. I think a lot of the negatives or question marks about Kenny Pickett coming out of the draft still remain because he's played really well, but I'm not sure that he has a ton of upside. It would surprise me if he was ever a top 5 quarterback, but if he can be somewhere in the 12 to 16 range and you've got that on a rookie contract, they've already got a good receiving core, so they just need to get him a real offensive coordinator and make some improvements to the offensive line. And I think the building blocks are in place to design an explosive offense around Kenny Pickett. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments any players or teams that you'd like me to cover.